Hey guys, welcome to Alien Diff Entertainment. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss no video uploads, okay? So this is part 2, continuation of Herman Mashaba's resignation letter. This is how it goes. At the heart of the matter will be the pro-poor agenda that this multi-party government has executed. I have stood in front of halls filled with upper-income Johannesburg residents who without exception understand the need to address the unsustainable inequality in our country. Despite this, some members of the DA caucus in Johannesburg have suggested that we prioritize the needs of suburban residents above providing dignity to those forgotten people who remain without basic services 25 years after the end of apartheid. It is clear to me that in the same way that the review panel conclusions were determined from day one, any process of reviewing these coalition arrangements is similarly predetermined. I say this with certainty because I have had to lead this 7-way minority coalition government without a solid mandate from the DA for the past 3 years. From the very first day that I took office, this coalition arrangement has been undetermined, criticized, and rendered nearly impossible. In every way, the DA has been the most difficult coalition party in this arrangement. Despite the fact that coalition survive on consultation, shared programs, and recognizing the contributions of each member, the DA has criticized and questioned my approach. Despite the DA only winning 38% of the vote in 2016 election, in the party have expected me to govern arrogantly as if I have an outright majority. I have had to deal with individuals who would rather I spent more time on cutting grass than on fixing our broken and aged infrastructure which threatened disaster in our city. I have had to deal with poor people who did not want to I have had to deal with people who draw the artificial distinctions between service delivery and informal settlements and suburbs as a binary, an either-or type approach. I have had to deal with individuals who would rather I spent more time on cutting grass than on fixing our broken and aged infrastructure which threatens disaster in our city. I have had to deal with people who did not want me to implement the insourcing program that has benefited over 7,000 families and contained contractual costs merely because it was not a DA policy. My response to the DA was, then make it your policy. Unfortunately, it is these individuals who have triumphed at yesterday's Federal Council meeting. This is why I have no doubt whatsoever that collapse of this governance arrangement is a foregone conclusion. It is not in my nature to wait for people to push me. I have lived my life on my terms. It is for this reason I have called this press conference today to announce my resignation from the Democratic Alliance effective 27 November 2019. This is on the request of party leadership that my resignation is held off until this date to afford them the opportunity to identify a new candidate. By doing so, I will no longer serve as a Democratic Alliance councillor, and therefore I am required to resign as the executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg, effective on the same date. I have given this decision considerable thought and have been tortured by the circumstances that have led me to this moment. It is not in my nature to quit anything in life. I succeeded under the darkest days of apartheid when I was told that I will not be a businessman. However, I cannot be a willing participant in good conscience in a process that is placing the narrow internal interest of a political party ahead of the needs of 5 million residents of Johannesburg. The events of the past few months, and particularly this weekend, have required me to choose between my party and my country. I have spent the past 3 years in government working tirelessly to rise above party politics in an attempt to unite a broad coalition. The events of this weekend have left me at a crossroads where I can no longer ignore the internal dynamics of DA and the continued attempt to undermine my pro-poor agenda in the city of Johannesburg. I am now in a position where I am forced to choose between my party and my country. As a patriot, I will always choose my country first. Okay, that was the part 2 of Herman Mashaba's resignation letter, of which he says it will only take effect on the 27th of November 2019. So yeah, tell me what you think down below, and part 3 I'm gonna upload it like in a few minutes from now, and do listen to it. And I think as a person, like, I think it was broad of him, and I applaud that. Not that I'm taking any sides of the party. I don't genuinely believe in any governance. I mean, like, party governance or whatever the case may be. But with that being said, I do vote, and I won't say for who do I vote for. But as a person, we all do what we think is necessary for the good of ourselves and for those people who look up to us. And I think it was like really big of him to take such decision, and whatever the reason may have been. And I did see what was happening like in the weekend, and yeah, like, we all know Helen Ziller, like she likes, tackling issues that are sensitive for many of us as black people, and like she just really don't seem to give much caring to it. And with her saying like she's gonna stay on a lane or whatever, like she's gonna do things by the book, to be honest, I don't believe it. Like she said, she's not gonna be biased, and she's gonna do things fairly. Will she really do that? We don't know. What happens behind doors asas. And I could tell by Musimai Maimane's face yesterday. Excuse my pronunciation. Yesterday, like, she was really not happy about the whole decision. Like, he didn't really like have much say in the matter. Like, we could read that from his face. So yeah, whatever it is, comment down below and tell me what you think about the whole situation. And yeah, listen on my next upload, on my part 3. The reason why I'm making these little parts, it's because I don't want you to be bored, listening to one thing like the whole time, because listening to a reading can be boring at times. I know myself. Okay, subscribe please, and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss video uploads. Okay, love you.